of the Miami Marlins. Zach Davies gets the start tonight for the Diamondbacks. Jose Quintana for the Mets. New York minus a run and a half plus 152. Arizona getting a run and a half minus 184. On the money line, Arizona plus 110, while the Mets are minus 130. The over-under tonight at Citi Field sits at 9. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry.
Auburn has won the Iron Bowl!
It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls.
Oh my God, Davis is going to run it all the way back!
It's the national rankings. It's college football.
The shooter's right down the field.
Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager, Learning the Lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. Will you volunteer to help people like Richard, a U.S. naval veteran who suffered severe PTSD after his service? He was left homeless for a period of time, and his oral and overall health are suffering. Because of congressional limitations, the VA can't provide the dental help he needs. Through our Will You See One Vet program, we focus on helping U.S. military veterans like Richard. Now we are seeking more general dentists and specialists to donate treatment to at least one veteran with special needs. When you volunteer with DLN's program to see one vet, we handle the details so you can focus on the care. If you are a dentist or know a dentist, please share this message and help us make a difference in the life of a veteran in need. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And wow, wow, that's all I can say. What a weekend of football, whether it was college, whether it was NFL. Wow. And my God, my picks are bust. My picks are so bust, it's not even close to funny. I had the worst possible first day of a season I've ever had. At this point, as it stands, I think I have 6 right out of all the games.
You got one more right than me, pal, because I think I only have like 4.
Horrible. Where? How you doing with your picks? Do you even know?
I have 8.
Well,
asked.
It's just horrible. It's just horrible. So yeah, people are like, Jeffrey goes back and changes his. Well, this ought to prove I don't, because dear God, Hefty Lefty right now, he is in the lead of everything. He got 11 right. Only thing I can think is we were reasonable, thoughtful, and smart about our picks. And then we were completely wrong. So everybody who usually is a bonehead must have done great, because, I can't imagine. So Hefty
Did you
Lefty.
just call Hefty Lefty a bonehead?
No, not Hefty Lefty.
Didn't Hefty Lefty
Pretty sure that's what
do
you
pretty
said.
well one time, just filling in all the picks before the season?
Generally, yes. In fact, that's the most respect for that guy right there. He did all his picks at the beginning of the year and never touched them again, and still did better than like 95% of the people. He didn't win it, but hell yeah,
He did damn good, yeah.
So listen, right now, the 2 things are the most impressive as far as fantasy football goes. Tyreek Hill and his 50.5 points, and the Cowboys defense with 45 points.
How about
Didn't
that?
see any
No.
of that coming.
No. I knew the Cowboys defense was going to be strong again this year, but 40
No idea.
points.
Wow. I don't know what you do with Micah Parsons. I actually don't know, because you block him one-on-one and then he destroys you, and you double team him and he also, somebody else destroys you. Dexter Lawrence or something. I mean, it's just
So I had to auto draft, as you remember, and remember who I was saying I'd probably take number 6, who I said, I probably end up taking this guy. I kind of have a little crisis of faith because, his issues, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's who I was going to take with the 6th pick. I knew that it was going to kind of figure that. And then I didn't, because I auto drafted, and Tyreek Hill, 50.5 points right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. At least I'm not Keon. No, actually, at least I'm me. Let me explain. Keon is upset because he got accidentally auto drafted Cooper Kupp. And then J.K. Dobbins is on his roster. Well, was. And so he's like, oh, woe's me, the luck I've had. Well, at least you're not me, because here's how my first week has shaked out. I have more IAs and IRs on my roster than anybody else on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you with my lineup, because here I got Jonathan Taylor, Jeff Wilson, Devon Achane, Zach Moss, Jerry Jeudy. Everybody on my team is hurt. Everybody for that game. But somehow, some way, Rosalie Michaels had it worse and I won.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway,
Oh boy.
nobody cares about our fantasy football, but if you had Tyreek Hill or a Cowboys defense and you didn't win your fantasy football, you might want to give up, because
It's not getting better than that. That's
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Well, that's the only reason why I scored so high this year, because my roster was just it was just it was abysmal. Lamar Jackson only had 8 points. 8 points.
Yeah, I
Lamar
just
Jackson.
didn't see that coming. Jalen Hurts. Listen. I've got all the games right here, and I thought we would talk about each and every game in order of how they appeared on our pick sheet, except for one. Let me just start you off by letting you know 9 road teams won this weekend, I believe, if not more. 9 road teams. That right there tells you upsets were in the making. A lot of teams, that you thought, well, this should be easy. No, it was not easy. But let's talk about the Commanders and the Cardinals first. First off, don't know about you, but I didn't know the Cardinals had a defense. I was surprised. And so then I was forced to ask the question, forced to ask two questions. First question was, are the Cardinals better than we thought they were going to be, or are the Commanders worse than we thought they would be? Second question, why does Dobbs never look surprised at anything?
It's because I think he has no eyebrows. That's what it is.
Oh, that explains.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the defense. So to the Commandos, the Cardinals. What's going on there? What's going on? I wasn't quite sure what I was seeing.
First of all, can I just say congratulations, Keon, a well-fought battle. So your team prevailed in the end. So congratulations, way to go. Second of all, I kind of had a suspicion the Cardinals were going to be good defensively because they'd made a lot of moves defensively on this team. And as we know, Jonathan Gannon was a defensive coordinator. He had the number one defense in the NFC last season. So I kind of thought their defense was going to be good. The offense, on the other hand, I don't know. I mean, I like some of the wrinkles that they've added to the game. I like some of those counter sweeps they were doing with Hollywood Brown. I like some of the running, the game that they're doing. But I'm shaking my head. I'm kind of scratching my head. And Keon, maybe you can help me here because I don't understand. You bring in Dobbs. And he's going to start for you. He hasn't been there the entire camp, and now he's the starting quarterback like a week after you acquire him on the team. Where's Clayton Tune at, and why didn't you give him even a remote, even a look in the game?
I think honestly that's just a move for Drew Petzing to get the offensive or to get whatever offensive players he wanted, and they allowed him to do that, and they allowed him to go get Joshua Dobbs, who we worked with before. And I didn't understand either. I was complaining about this the entire build up and lead up to this game, that it just didn't make any sense at quarterback. If you actually wanted to win football games, the guy that's been on your roster for 2 weeks does not give you the best chance. He just doesn't. So I don't know what to make about that.
You guys are adorable when you act like they're not tanking.
They are, but no one's ever done it that egregiously before. And I said that. Like it's a shame that they couldn't even try to disguise it better. But I will say about the defense, though, I think it's a little bit of both. I do think that Washington's offensive line is truly awful. It's been a problem. They've tried to fix it for years, shuffling around various guys, and it doesn't matter. They bring in another person, and it's like, oh, here's the veteran that's going to anchor. Oh, never mind. He's getting beaten by, I don't know, Jonathan Ledbetter again. So but I do think the Cardinals defense does deserve some respect there. I thought the defensive coordinator, Nick Rollis, called a hell of a game. Jonathan Gannon was standing there looking stoic, but he wasn't actually calling the defensive plays. It was Rollis, and he absolutely dialed up anything he needed to try and get some kind of production going. I thought that that Zaven Collins played the best game he's played as a Cardinal. If he can continue to do that, I think that there's something special there. And we've criticized him a lot, but I do think that whatever it is that Gannon's done, it's brought out the best in that dude, and I'm happy for it.
I can wrap this up a little bit neater. Both your teams are a pile of hot ass, and that's why this game was as close as it was.
Okay.
The Cardinals should not have even put up 16 on the Commandos, and the Commandos should have put up way more than 20. So if we even things out, both your teams stink.
It's wonderful you can do math like that, but that's not how football works. I don't think.
So you're into that math where they do those little piles of stuff, and I do the math where it's straightforward and it's like quick.
Well, yeah.
Quick math. What do they call that?
The math you made up
is common point math.
is not math. The way that this worked was just too many turnovers. I didn't appreciate the Antonio Gibson fumble again in the red zone, where they were going to score and it looked like they were going to put the game away, and then he fumbles it. And the Cardinals, got 2 turnovers gifted to them where they were already in the red zone to kick 2 field goals. So it's not like they scored. Their offense went out there and scored 16 points. That did not happen.
No,
they got a scoop and score, and then they got 2 field goals basically gifted to them. Yep. So the only points given up were like 2 field goals.
Well, I'm not going to say gifted, but I will say it was a good game. Congratulations. And we will leave it there. We're on to New York now.
Which that's going to be an interesting thing because the New York Giants did not look good.
Who's beating the Washington Commandos next week?
They play Denver.
Okay. Yeah.
No, the thing
it
is,
was
the
so
thing is,
hard to watch both your teams this
but
week.
that's the thing is, if you, I felt optimistic watching Washington there because I did see the things that you were going to see for a guy making his second start at quarterback. Sam Howell went out there, and there were a lot of highs and there were a lot of lows, which is what happens when you develop a quarterback. Like, and you know this because your quarterback was developing too. So like you go out there, your quarterback's going to make some mistakes, but I thought Sam Howell looked good. He threw an interception, came right back and led him down the field and scored a touchdown. You know, gets knocked out of bounds, takes a real hard shot, gets back, leads him down the field and scores a touchdown.
Sam Howell looks like a crazed man who just, bolted out of the scene of a DUI accident. And he looks like he just showed up afterwards. He looks crazy, but I'll tell you what, well, you'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna just sit here and just be relentless on either of these things, but what I saw was the Commandos. You don't have a whole lot of the pieces that you need, and the Cardinals, they don't have a lot of the pieces they need. And when you face up to other teams, both of your teams are. It's gonna hurt.
I disagree. I think the Commanders have most of the pieces that they need, except for one very, very important piece, and that would be the guys protecting the quarterback. You just can't have people out there getting beaten as bad as they did. They brought in Wiley to be their right tackle. They had to bench him in the second quarter. He was getting beaten to death. You just can't have stuff like that because no matter who you have at quarterback, they're not going to be successful behind a line that atrocious. And they still haven't figured it out. They're moving their right guard, Sam Cosmi, to right tackle. So that just already is a little frustrating. But the defense for the Commanders is everything I thought it was going to be, and more. I love that.
Well, you're going to need them. You're going to need them. So that happened. The Cardinals hung in there with the Washington Commandos. And by the way, your crowd could not have cared less. They were all just like, as long as Dan Snyder doesn't own us, we don't care. And they were chanting F Dan Snyder as they left the stadium loudly.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it didn't matter if they'd won or lost.
I think that's not true. I think it did matter because when it went into halftime, it was quieter. It was noticeably quieter. That building was rocking at the beginning and it was rocking at the end, but there was a moment in the middle where it was a whole lot quieter. I do think it was an important game, even though it was an ugly win, just to get the juice back into the fan base. You know, I think that was huge.
Well, my Colts didn't do any better. They got beat by the Jaguars. And I'll tell you what, if we had Jonathan Taylor, I feel like we'd have won that game. What's that?
I said potentially.
Yeah. I mean, kind of obviously to me, it's just we didn't have any sort of a running game. And, the Jaguars weren't that good. And what you had was exactly what I had expected for the Colts. And that is it's college time. It's education time. It's, it's advanced classes for Anthony Richardson. He looked good sometimes. He looked horrible other times, and then scared the hell out of everybody when he wasn't getting up right away after he got a lower body injury. But he kind of tweaked his leg a little bit, but he's learning. It's on the job training. And as long as he's okay, we're good. I'm not worried about it. We can lose 8 more games, 9 more games, 10 more games. As long as he's falling forward, as long as he shows improvement next week to the next week to the next week, then I'm not going to worry about it. Should I be worried, though, about my offensive line? That's the thing that I'm kind of looking at. I mean, you got a good couple of those guys are really good, but I don't know about all of them.
And I think the Colts are kind of making this transition to relying more on their quarterback than the running game. And that changes a few things because the guys that were really, really good in run blocking may not be the best pass protection guys. So I think we're starting to see that shift with the Colts offensive line a little bit. So I would worry a little, but I think I would worry about, Anthony Richardson fighting for yards that he doesn't need to fight for. Get out of bounds, save your body. Don't take those hits. Even Trevor Lawrence told him after the game, look, man, the hits add up in the NFL. They're just bigger guys hitting you. And even though Anthony Richardson is a freak of nature, that doesn't mean that you can take all of those shots for an entire NFL season.
I hope he learns quick before he learns the hard way. But he says that, he says, listen, I got a knee bruise, but the loss hurts more than that does. Yeah, he says all the right things. He's doing all the right things as far as, you expect from a kid like that. But yeah, he has to get smarter quicker, or his career is going to end up being very short. Berg says, "Hey, I might have missed it, but how did Keon do in his fantasy game?"
It's still happening. I'm trailing by about 20, and I got Garrett Wilson tonight.
That's how he's doing.
Yeah, I had Dallas Goedert, by the way. The Eagles win in New England, and Dallas Goedert got me a cool no points.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Wow, was he on the field?
He was.
Wow.
He was there.
Blocking.
He was there, and he was not catching passes.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert was so good for me last year, and I got him again, and I was like, all right, me and Dallas, 0 points.
Well, nobody cares about our fantasy football, but I'll say this: everybody who has Lamar Jackson is very unhappy today. Like, what happened? What happened?
I also have Lamar Jackson.
I know. I could see that. I was looking at your score. 888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes says Cardinals would have kicked the Caucasian skins' asses if they would have started Clayton Tune.
No, they
wouldn't
have.
I'm sure that was the difference.
Yeah, the difference was a rookie who's never played in the NFL before versus guy who's never played in your system before. So fantastic. They're both technically rookies to the system. What difference would that make?
Big George says, Keon, your team's not good at all. Your quarterback had 2 really bad turnovers. Your fans were booing the quarterback on offense in the third quarter. I think your Commanders are in trouble, and Ron Rivera might be losing his job this season.
George, you know the score of that game. And yet, despite the fact that you were played my not very good quarterback, how many touchdowns he scored on you? Was it 2 of them? Oh, I think it was 2 of them. It was 2 of them.
So you realize when you're kind of calling out Big George, you're hurting Randy. I don't know if you realize that or not.
I'm not trying.
How's he hurting me?
Because he's bad mouthing your Cardinals.
But I'm not bad mouthing.
Listen, I stopped listening to you two about the Cardinals a long time ago. It's kind of like listening to Ralph. I mean, when you guys start talking Cardinals, I keep hearing blah, 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 blah. That's all I hear. Okay, so.
Blissful Hayes says 6 wins, Jeffrey? No, 6 picks right. I only got 6 right. Unbelievable. Jagdog says, I guess this means Solar Boy is a Rams fan this year. We're getting there. We're getting there. So let's go to the next game on the docket. The Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. And yikes. I thought the Panthers had a new quarterback. Didn't they get a new quarterback? Wasn't that?
Yeah, it's Bryce Young. The
Panthers
Bryce
did Bryce Young. Yeah.
Whoa. How'd he do? Because
you know what he did, as would be expected of a young quarterback coming into the NFL in his first full game.
Did he throw his 2 interceptions one after the other just to get it out of the way, or did he do it throughout the game?
It was throughout the game, but I thought he looked pretty good. There's no nice way to say this, or there's no way to say this and not sound like a dumbass completely. But like outside of the 2 interceptions, he played really well. The 2 interceptions were egregious. Like
other than that, how's the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Yeah, like I know what it sounds like, but like the 2 interceptions were egregious. But he didn't make any horrible decisions outside of that. They just don't have wide receiver talent.
I think by the end of the season, he's going to be vastly improved, and he's going to be a pretty solid quarterback in the NFL. It's just, this is his first game. And by the way, there was this guy, maybe you guys heard of him, Bijan Robinson for Atlanta. Did you see him make that move where he stopped dead in his tracks and the defense just kept going to their left? And then he just kind of trotted into the end zone.
He's like Maverick. I'm going to hit the brakes. I'll fly right by.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He had a play where it looked like it was like a 5-yard loss. It ended up being like a 7-yard gain because he made 3 guys miss in the backfield. It was an absolutely horrible play call that he made the right play because he's Bijan.
All right, we'd have to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of your texts, and we're going to try to get through every single game that happened yesterday before Monday Night Football. Now we got the Bills and the Jets tonight, and that I think is going to be a good one. Thought last night was going to be a good one. Man, was we wrong. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Major League Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks are in New York tonight as they begin a 3-game series with the Mets at Citi Field. The Diamondbacks are in second place in the National League West. They're currently holding on to the third and final playoff spot in the wild card standings, a half a game ahead of the Miami Marlins. Zach Davies gets the start tonight for the Diamondbacks. Jose Quintana for the Mets. New York minus a run and a half plus 152. Arizona getting a run and a half minus 184. On the money line, Arizona plus 110, while the Mets are minus 130. The over-under tonight at Citi Field sits at 9. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-989-8906 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-989-8906. That's 800-989-8906. What do you have to lose? Call 800-989-8906. Again, 800-989-8906.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about Pepper? Mysterious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry. It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls. Oh my God, Davis is going running all the way back. It's the national rankings. It's college football. The shooters right down the field. Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We are trying to talk about every single football game that happened yesterday before we get to our Monday Night Football broadcast of Bills at Jets at 4:30 p.m. Let me get caught up on the text line real fast. And Mr. Wilbur says, headline, my picks suck. Let me repeat, my picks suck. Well, yeah, you and everybody else. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people who had what you would call a great week of picking, and more than a couple upsets. Cowboy Sparky, well, we know what he's going to talk about. He says 40-0. It's just the Giants, just like the experts are saying. Are you serious? Well, we're going to talk about that later, Cowboy Sparky. I don't know that I would get too crazy about that, but it was pretty impressive. Bruno Baller says, you would think when week one's power rankings for NFL come out, Cardinals at least won't be last. That'll be interesting to find out what the talking heads have to say about this week. I feel like the Giants are probably going to take it in the shorts. Oaktown Destroyer says, Jeffrey, I care about fantasy football. Oh, no, I didn't say we didn't care about fantasy football. I said nobody cares about your fantasy football. Like nobody cares about your kids. You care about your kids. Nobody else cares about your kids. And we're trying to minimize us talking about, personal fantasy football so nobody gets bored. But if we talk about players in certain situations that everybody can relate to, then that's okay. So that's when we say nobody cares about your fantasy football. That's what we mean. He says, I think I'm winning right now against Randy, but he has Josh Allen tonight. But okay, well, first off, you're not playing Randy. You're playing Ralph. Ralph has Josh Allen tonight. Blissful Hayes says the Bears are officially the worst team in the NFL. They have 11 straight losses. Love took ownership of the Bears from Rodgers. Tell you, yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
It's like I heard is somewhere this weekend. All the fans out. This is week 1. This is just the first game. Let's just wait and see what happens.
There are some indications, but it's only week 1.
There might be indicators, but it's a long season. Let's just wait and see how the season unfolds.
Tiger Paws says, hey, last night's good for Fecal Mist. He had the Dallas defense against me. Okay, 45 points. Anybody who had the Dallas defense put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Hookamati says, what are you guys talking about? Last night was great. If you're a Cowboys fan. Blissful Hay says, is it a Captain Brahman day on the blender? What?
He's talking about Kyler Murray. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
yeah, it's a short show. Yeah, sorry. 4:30 we're up. Yes, thank you.
Oh, short show. I get
Fifth letter says, good bleep on all 3 of you picking the Donkeys. Make sure y'all pick the Bills week 2. Just win, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, I did pick. You know what? Who knew Sean Payton was going to blow it? We'll talk about that in a second. Beer Nut says, how did them Cowboys do? Ha, you guys all picked the Giants. Yeah, I know. All 4 of us did. I'll tell you what, somebody didn't get their money's worth. Mr. Pink Eye says, happy Monday, fellas. I was watching some of the U.S. Open. I got a tennis question. Is there more running in tennis or football? Tennis looks tiring. Football, it's not even close. Tennis is just sort of stepping a couple steps.
That's just not true.
It's not running.
No. I
played tennis.
The U.S. Open high-level tennis is not the tennis you played in high school for 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
Just a couple weeks, but that was more than enough.
Okay, that's that. You didn't play tennis of any high level.
Don't judge me.
No, there's
I feel like I'm being judged right now.
Running in tennis.
all I know is, there's more in football. Depending on the position.
Yeah, depending on your position. Like if you're a tackle.
I think tennis would be harder on your knees.
No,
and
I was going to say, depending on the position, meaning if you're in a position in football. There's
No,
more running.
there are tennis players who have like running back careers because it's just horrible on your knees.
No,
if you're left tackle,
I
you
would
absolutely do not run more than.
There's a lot more CTE in tennis than football. That is actually a science.
What's that?
There's more CTE, way more concussions in tennis than there are in football.
Why would you say that? That doesn't even. They don't. What?
It's not even close. Football.
Can I tell you, one
far
of my
and away.
most favorite things in life is getting our puppy to do that little, or they curt, and I just got you 2 to do that to me just now. So I'm like winning all over the place.
Wow.
Of course, there's not more CTE
if you say confusing things, that's the reaction there. Yeah,
that's just for me. I enjoy it. All right, so let's talk about the again, we're going in order of the pick sheet. So Browns unfortunately were able to beat the Bengals. Now, I don't mind if the Browns beat the Bengals. All right, fine, whatever. I don't care. But to see what happened to Joe Burrow, holy God, 24-3. I thought, because I wasn't really paying that close attention to that game, I thought, oh my God, is Joe Burrow hurt? No. They just got destroyed by the Browns defense. This is bad. I mean, it's funny. It seems like every quarterback that just got paid while some running backs are hanging around going, what about me? Just got nuked. Daniel Jones and Joe Burrow destroyed week 1. Holy crap.
Which I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to look a little shaky because he hasn't played in a while, and then he came back and only practiced a little bit before going out there. But my God, 82 yards? That doesn't even look like Joe Burrow. It looked like some impersonate. It looked like someone just put actual Macaulay Culkin in Joe Burrow's uniform and had him run out there and play. I can't tell you why he looked like that, except that Browns defensive line is legit. Like Myles Garrett was having fun in a way that he was pretending to Allen Iverson crossover before the play started, and then actually beat the right guard on one of those plays so badly. He actually ran past Joe Burrow and had to come back to sack him. It was just, they made the Bengals offensive line look like they never fixed it.
Well, I guess that means they never fixed it, because that is your reality. Joe Burrow I saw a shot of him like towards the end of the game. It looked like he'd just been through war. It looked like he had personally just been like through Iwo Jima or something like that. He just looked rocked and shocked and just, what do you do? What can you possibly do? Now, of course, Joe Burrow right now is saying the right things. Nobody's panicking. Week 1 does not define a season. And you guys better fix some stuff. You better fix some stuff.
But just keep in mind, last year the Bengals started slow too, and then it didn't matter. They became the Bengals again. Like I don't want to overreact to week 1 necessarily, but
no, you overreact to week 2, because week 2, if you lose that, nobody wins a Super Bowl that loses the first 2 games in a season.
Yeah,
statistically, that is just that's a fact.
0-2. You're just kind of done.
Cleveland has had Cincinnati's number the past 5 games. Cleveland has won, I think, 3 of the last 5 games against Cincinnati.
It's a pretty
historically,
incredible
that's
run.
the way it's been lately. Ever since Joe Burrow got there, in 21? So
Blissful A's, I just can't agree. He says Marlboro got paid. He has no incentive to win anymore. He won already. He should fake an injury to avoid getting hurt, and he still gets paid. Yes, a lot of his contract is guaranteed, but I guarantee you that's not the way that kid operates.
No.
He was there to play, just his O-line wasn't.
Yeah, and then that happens sometimes. And also, give credit to the Browns defensively. They also went ahead and got Zadarius Smith to put on the other side of Myles Garrett. So the days of you double teaming Myles Garrett, those are over. That's done. You can't do it.
Also, the days of talking crap should be over. Jamar Chase. Listen, he's like, he was talking crap. He was calling them elves, because, the logo of the Browns in the middle of the field looks like elves. So he's like, I ain't worried about some elves. Then later, after the game, he says, it's frustrating because I called their asses elves and we just lost to some elves. So I'm angry. He didn't say angry, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's what you get. Maybe that had something to do with it. You don't give the other team bulletin board material. You just don't.
I mean, I don't know, because Myles Garrett was given plenty of bulletin board material before too. I mean, last year during Halloween, he had all of the quarterbacks he was going to play. He had the headstones for them on his yard, and Joe Burrow was there. Hasn't stopped him from getting to Joe Burrow before. I think that Jamar Chase's problem was their offensive line. The offensive line kind of is the problem for everything that went wrong with the Bengals. Because honestly, the Browns didn't play a whole lot better offensively. Like Deshaun Watson did look like crap. He looked horrible. The Browns offense looked horrible, but the defense for the Browns was just so dominant that they wound up being able to score enough points.
Man, I just, when I saw the clip of him walking it into the end zone and doing his little celebration, it's like somebody needs to hack into the International Space Station and give me the damn controls. I'll take care of this.
Wait, what are you going to do from the ISS?
You don't need to know. Let's talk about, by the way, has anybody heard from Donnie today? Donnie, join us in the Losers Lounge, because your Minnesota Vikings got beat by the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers. Oh my God. What? Yee. Okay, so this is going to be the theme. Every one of these games, you're like, all right, well, does this mean the Buccaneers are better than we thought? Or does this mean the Vikings are worse than we thought? Who do you blame here? Do you blame the Buccaneers for winning or the Minnesota Vikings for losing?
I don't think it's that cut and dry. I do think that the Buccaneers are better than we thought. But the Vikings defense, they didn't fix anything from last year. It's just as terrible as it was a year ago. It was a big problem for them. But the thing is, I think they won enough games that they thought they could maybe, beef up the offense a little bit more, kind of coast by with that defense. You can't win games when your defense does that. You had a lot of plays where Baker Mayfield is dead to rights and he's able to get out of plays, extend plays with his legs, push the ball downfield. they have good players on that defense, but they just make really key mistakes. And I don't know what else to make of that.
Minnesota beat Tampa Bay in every statistical category except rushing yards. And that was ridiculous. I mean, they only had 41 yards rushing. The Bucs had 73 yards rushing. Everything else, the Vikings dominated. For example, total yards, the Vikings had 369 total yards, where the Buccaneers had 242. The Tampa Bay was just more efficient. They were able to get the ball in the end zone where the Vikings weren't.
Wow. And they didn't ask Baker to do too much.
When Justin Jefferson has 150 yards receiving and he's not in the end zone a couple of times at least.
So did they like peel some chains off of Kirk Cousins on the flight home after that interception and a couple of fumbles?
Did
he get mugged in the back of the plane?
He probably should have, but we know what Kirk is, and we know that he struggles when he doesn't have, that kind of perfect situation around him. And they couldn't run the football yesterday after making the decision that Dalvin Cook wasn't a guy you wanted to hang on to. That to me just feels pretty damning, because everybody going out there and saying, hey, running backs don't matter anymore. Got bad news for you. I think some of these running backs here keep you in games. At least they give you the ability to win certain games, because when your quarterback is not playing well, or when he makes a couple of mistakes and you want him to settle down, you can always hand the ball to your running back, get the offense back on track, and then go back to the air. And some of these teams don't have that ability anymore because they haven't, for whatever reason, built on whatever they have with their running back room.
Bad Fish says that's what Minnesota is known for, being the best in the field and still finding ways to lose games. Bruno Baller, I'll get you in a moment on that. Okay, so I'm trying to get through as many of these games as I can, because we want to talk some college football a little bit later on too. Bruno Baller, I'll get to you. First, I want to talk about the if I had to name this, I like to name our matchups during the NFL season like we would name a bowl game, and this would be nobody really cared bowl, and that would be the Saints versus the Titans. Nobody really cared. This is a game that nobody cared about. Did you care? I didn't care. I forgot that I even picked it.
I care a little bit, only as much as I think the Saints are capable of winning the NFC South. It's a tough division of football where a lot of the teams are scrappy, but nobody's actually great. So I kind of care about that. But boy, the Titans were real bad.
Yeah, I thought the Titans would be more professional. I figured that this is a team that, they're not going to get all the wins, but they're, competent. And I figured the Saints with Derek Carr, there'd be some growing pains and stuff like that. And it was just like they were exactly kind of the same horrible team versus the same horrible team. It wasn't just.
I don't think they're the same horrible team. I think they're two very different horrible teams, because I think the Saints defense is like a legitimately good defense. And I think that the Titans defense is a legitimately good defense, but the Saints got something out of Derek Carr. The Titans didn't get anything out of Tannehill.
Which is not normal. Tannehill is usually pretty sturdy.
Yeah. He's usually a solid guy.
They got something out of Tannehill, 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, at the worst possible time.
Outside of that, these teams are evenly matched, unless Tannehill does what he does there. I mean,
if Tannehill played better, the Titans win this game going away, in my opinion. But he just, and it wasn't just the 3 interceptions. I mean, I wish the 3 interceptions told the whole story. He completed less than 50% of his passes, and he had some throws to D-Hop down the field. D-Hop couldn't catch him if he had a pogo stick and was able to jump up even higher. He just threw it to nobody. I don't even know if Ryan Tannehill's going to make it to week 4 as the starter if he keeps playing like this.
Who do they got backing him up?
It's Malik Willis. And I thought Willis played not great last season, but when I saw him in the preseason, and I am taking that with a grain of salt, that is preseason, but he looked a whole lot more comfortable. And if he goes out there and he can manage the game, he can at least run the damn ball. He can at least extend some plays with his legs. I don't think he's going to make some of those throws that Tannehill tried to make, because what was that?
I remember we were talking in draft Malik Willis, and I thought, man, that'd be a good kid to have on your roster just to see, just as an experiment, get him some time on the bench and learn him up. And then when they threw him out in the game, I was like, okay, forget that. And so
Yeah, but
you're right. Maybe this time has helped him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it in terms of what's going on with your own quarterback, Anthony Richardson. Malik Willis hasn't even played a full season's worth of games. Like there's certain guys like that. I think Sam Howell's like that. I think Jordan Love's like that. Like guys that they're not rookies, but they haven't played a whole lot of NFL football. So there's just some learning that's going to happen. And I do think that the time between seasons helped slow the game down for Malik Willis a little bit, because I don't think that they're ready to turn to Will Levis yet. If they did, he'd be quarterback number 2.
All right. Well, listen, we have to take a break, and we come back. We'll pick right back up where we left off. Hopefully we can get all of these games talked about before Monday Night Football starts up. Remember, this hour is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS.com is celebrating 30 years with a special offer, up to 30 risk-free bets in the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus. Get started today at BetUS.com. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. A great game to close out week 1 when Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets host Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in an AFC East matchup. Join me and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner live from the Meadowlands on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-989-8906 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-989-8906. That's 800-989-8906. What do you have to lose? Call 800-989-8906. Again, 800-989-8906.
Head coach Kenny Dillingham and Sun Devil football host Mountain West Conference opponent Fresno State in a highly anticipated matchup Saturday, September 16th at 7:30 p.m. for the annual City of Tempe night. Make Mountain America Stadium echo from the Buttes when the Bulldogs come to town. Single game and mini plan options are available to watch the Sun Devils take on Fresno State. Get your tickets today. Call 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Be there, be loud, and wear gold.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with #HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
If you hit, pass it, dunk it, shoot it, check it, throw it, putt it, or block it, then we're going to talk about it. I like that.
I just thought I'd clear that up.
1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
You notice how football's whack now? Things are changing. When I came up, dude, football was it was gladiated. It was angry. It was angry. Like when we hit somebody, when I played, if you hit somebody and he didn't get up, like we didn't hold hands with the other team and pray, like hold hands and everyone prays for him to get up. We used to do a Indian, like sell a hump dance circle around like, and be like, and our crowd's like, he's paralyzed. That's right. We be looking for his mother crying, be like, that's right, lady. That's what you get for letting him out here with killers. He can't even wiggle his toes. Take his socks. And we would tie his socks around our helmet for the next week. Like the next team, they knew, oh, that's the team that be tying paralyzed socks around their helmets to scare them next week. And then like we were thinking about harming somebody. It's just that's what we did.
The late great Patrice O'Neal. Truth. That was a very funny man. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and we are going through all the games that happened yesterday. I think we're on a pretty good pace here. I think we're actually going to get to Monday Night Football, having talked about every single one of these NFL games. Let's get caught up on the text line real fast. Cardinal Art says, tuned in as usual. Still got you on those wings, Keon. Randy, please give me a cold one. Straight Striper says, just tuned into the show. And you got the legend Patrice playing. Yeah, if I ever find some sports-related stand-up that I love, I'm going to put it on for you, man. The Reaper says, good afternoon, guys. How about them Rams? We're getting there. We're getting there. And also pump your brakes. Let's talk about the 49ers destroying the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, is this mean that the 49ers are this amazing best team in football, as some people are already crowning them? Or could it just be the Steelers not being that great? Because we had talked about how the Steelers not that great.
I do think that the 49ers do look legitimately good.
They look good, but they don't look 30-7 good. And I think the disparity in score has a lot to do with the Steelers not being very good.
Yeah, but I think that the Steelers not being good offensively, because I don't know what defense you're throwing out there that's going to contain Christian McCaffrey the way that he was playing, that's going to contain Deebo Samuel the way that he was playing. And then, oh, look, Brandon Ayuk's back from the dead. He's a part of this offense again. Kyle Shanahan unbanished him, and now Brandon Ayuk's out there looking like a legitimate star. They've got 4 really great playmakers on the outside, and Brock Purdy, who manages everything in the middle, makes all the right decisions with the football, as he had been doing. And then the Steelers just couldn't match him in points because Kenny Pickett,
Johnson's hamstring didn't help, and Kenny Pickett was not looking exactly sharp, was he?
Well, what happened to the vaunted Steeler defense? I mean, everybody was talking about how great this defense is going into the season, and they were virtually they were just run on at will. They didn't pick any balls off. They didn't really get to Brock Purdy at all. It was just kind of like it was a first game for the Steelers, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens the rest of the season.
I love how Patrick Peterson was like, say, "Oh, I know his tells. I'm gonna get an interception," and Brock Purdy's like, "All right, we'll see." And then Patrick Peterson comes back and says, "Oh no, I saw the tell twice. I just couldn't get the interception."
Okay, so you're just admitting what? You're both too old and slow to get there in time.
Exactly right.
What good does the tell do if you can't get there? Patrick Peterson should be ashamed of himself for talking all of this crap and then having that be what you showed up out there on the field with, because TJ Watt was the only Steeler that I saw playing defense that actually looked good.
Shame on Patrick Peterson for taking that money from Pittsburgh. He should have retired last year.
Yeah, you know what? Money in his fool are soon parted.
I'll never be mad at a guy for conning an NFL team out of giving him money. If you saw Patrick Peterson play for the Vikings last year and you were like, "Yes, sign me up for more of that," that's on you. That's not on Patrick Peterson. And I would take the paycheck too. You know what he said in The Wire? "I'll take anybody's money if they're just giving it away."
Some dumb money. So yeah, the 49ers take care of business on the Steelers. And part of the factor was the crowd. And I guess a lot of 49er fans actually showed up for that game in Pittsburgh. So that's a hell of a distance to travel.
Not only that, a bunch of Steeler fans sold their tickets to 49er fans.
Well, that's on them.
Again, here we go again. I don't want to hear anything about these home teams that are crying because people are selling their ticket. It's like the Diamondbacks the other day on a Wednesday afternoon. They were yelling because people weren't showing up to the ball. You put on a ball game in the middle of a work week in the middle of the day. What do you expect? People just flock into the ballpark, and make sure they're there for that game?
Well, for what happened at Heinz Field, though, people there don't usually sell their tickets, and that just shows you that they know how bad the Steelers are going to be this year if they are selling their tickets.
I think they're just soft. I think their fan base is turning over, and it's this individuality thinking again. It's what can I get out of this?
I guess I just don't know that to be them. I've tailgated over there before. It's crazy. Steeler fans are crazy, and I've just not known that fan base to be the fan base that's like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, let's sell our tickets."
But
they did, and I don't know. I don't know if this is the new trend.
I told you why. They see this team and they're like, pass.
Yeah, but in years past, they've had bad teams before. Like
maybe they're just getting tired of it.
Maybe, but for this to be the team that they've decided to wave on from, like, why? This isn't worse than there are worse teams that they've paid money to go see.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph was legitimately a starting quarterback for them, and they paid their money and went to go see that.
I think they got burned, and they know that they're going to get burned again with Kenny Pickett. Guess what? They're right. So,
I'm not going to make that determination.
When the Steelers put a better team in the field, the fans will come back.
Because Kenny Pickett was not the worst part of that offense by far. The O-line was also bad in this game, and look at the running attack. There was nothing. I mean, Najee Harris is normally a good player, but again, you have a bad O-line, it affects so much, not just the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But the running game in particular, these guys couldn't get anything going on the ground, and they just got stuck in neutral.
So I was watching my fantasy football players quite a bit, like everybody else over the weekend, right? Everybody was checking occasionally, And when I saw that Lamar Jackson had 8 points in fantasy football, I was like, oh, wow, they got beat. I never would have imagined they could win a game where he had 8 points in fantasy football. And I looked at the score. I was like, wait, what? How do the Ravens have 25-9 over the Texans, but Lamar Jackson only has 8 points? Well, what? How do you account for that? I still haven't figured this out.
Defense.
He had 169 yards passing, 38 rushing yards. And so what happened to Lamar Jackson?
What happened to Lamar Jackson is, boy, the Ravens kind of are in a little bit of a transitional period from being a predominantly run offense to a pass offense. And the O-line that's been so great at run blocking in the past, they did not look like they were up to the challenge of protecting him. And he was running not in the way we're used to seeing Lamar run, which is confidently. That dude was running for his life. And then, once the J.K. Dobbins Achilles tear happened,
that's horrible.
Kind of that. But their defense stepped up, and that's where the 25 points came from.
Well, that just, that's amazing and sad. J.K. Dobbins, he's having surgery on that Achilles on Friday. By the way, in that same game, safety Jalen Petrie, he got taken to the hospital. He has a bruised lung. I can't even. How do you bruise a lung? What is that even?
Your rib hits it?
No, I get it, but I've never even heard of such a thing. I could piece together how it happens, but how does that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not great.
Wow. That's not a normal thing to have a bruised lung. I wonder how long he'll be out with. So the Ravens win the game, and leaves you wondering what kind of a team do the Ravens have this year. Not really thinking Super Bowl for them right now. All right, guys, more games to talk about when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
The best time of the year is here, and it's all about the NFL and the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. There are all kinds of ways to get in on the action. Same game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. And now, DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you get.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BET1580 to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BET1580 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEPS. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway.
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Tonight on Monday Night Football, the Bills and the 2.5-point underdog Jets clash in a game with an over-under 45.5 combined points. Will Josh Allen attempt over-under 30 passes? Will the Jets defense give up over-under 21 points? Will Aaron Rodgers consume ayahuasca and hallucinate over-under 4 sky demons? And will I get over this gambling addiction of mine? All of those questions, except one, will be answered tonight on Monday Night Football.
people, settle down.
Because it's time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And yes, we have 1/2 hour to finish talking about the games that happened yesterday. We're in a pretty good pace, but we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. Because before you know it, it'll be Bills and Jets right here on the radio. 4:30, Kevin Harlan and all the gang take over with Rich Eisen to give you a broadcast. So let's, where were we? Yes, the Packers versus the Bears. That aired here on this very radio station on Sunday at 1 p.m. And yeah, that was a kind of a good game. That was an interesting game. It leaves me with the question, though. Are the Bears that bad, or is Jordan Love actually good? Because I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
I think Jordan Love is solid. I think the Packers are that good.
Yeah.
That offensive line was amazing.
The
Jordan
defense is
Love
good.
had enough time for some of these developing routes. He could launch it down the field. He had as much time as any young quarterback in this league is liable to get. I don't think anybody's going to get as much time back there as he did.
Does that help him get better, or does that leave him at a level that he's not going to progress from?
No, I think that helps him get better. I mean, and anytime you can allow him to stand back there and get to go through his progressions and have the game slow down for him, like over time, that's what you want. You want him to get those reps out there. And you see, that wasn't happening for Justin Fields on the other side at all.
Well, it makes you wonder, is the O-line for the Packers that good, or is the defensive line for the Bears not so good? Because I'd heard the Bears defense was supposed to be good.
It was supposed to be better. They traded so much stuff away to get all the picks that they got, and they replenished it a little bit, but it's still not a good defense. They did have a fantastic linebacker in Roquan Smith, but of course they traded him last year to the Ravens. They're an okay defense, but they were going up against a particularly great offensive line. Obviously, we know what the Packers do in the running game with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And then Jordan Love played the game really well, managed it really well. And I think that, when you have guys that are young like that, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy's another guy where they're on really good teams. It gives them the chance to grow and develop in a way that the guys on bad teams don't really get.
3 touchdown passes, no turnovers. I don't think he needs to run up and start yelling, "I own you," just like Aaron Rodgers did. A little bit soon for that, but I guess the Packers have everything to feel all right about right now. The Bears, not so much. Starting to lose faith on old Justin Fields there, but again, I don't think I want to lose faith in him, just losing faith in what the Bears are putting around to protect him. Blissful Hayes says, I predict Bears coach Eberflus will be first head coach to get fired this season. He's clueless. It's terrible. An offense, defense.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's clueless, and I don't think he's going to be the first guy to get fired. But it did seem like Eberflus had something in letting Justin Fields run with the football and actually designing plays around that. And then it looks like, they went out and got some receivers, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and then went away from Justin Fields running with the football. And why would you do that? He's still fast. You should probably lean into that a little bit more, especially since your offensive line is banged up. Tevin Jenkins wasn't out there. I don't know. It was very weird decisions by Matt Eberflus.
Well, the Packers, according to LeFleur, big time belief in the locker room for Jordan Love. I'll tell you what, this rivalry game, to pick it up where they left off last year, that has to be a really good way to start a season for the Green Bay Packers. The Bears, not so much. Let's talk about a guy I thought was going to go off in a stretcher, but it turns out he bounced back. Jimmy Garoppolo. He got his win with the Raiders. And hey, Sean Payton, if you're gonna do the onside kick, recover it. I'm just saying, recover it. Just what are you doing? Why? What
looked like an oblong pinball hitting all the bumpers? That was just that was terrible. I mean, I understand that the thought behind that. Let's start off the season with an onside kick, and we'll score really fast, and we'll stun them. But you gotta, like you said, Jeffrey.
Bad.
Yeah.
And 17-16 is the score. It is that close. That dumbass play at the very beginning, that little hot dog move, could be the reason they lost.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Because what if they had just done it the regular way and marched down the field and got themselves a touchdown? You have a different game altogether. But that right there, giving them that kind of field position, wow.
Yeah, look, it's insanely crazy to do something like that, but he's a gutsy guy, so he's going to. I won't say that that's the only reason, because
not the only, but it certainly didn't help.
It didn't help, but you know what else didn't help? Will Lutz, your kicker, missed 2 kicks. So
that is probably a bigger deciding factor.
Yeah, and then they had one return that was brought back because of a hold. So they actually had a return for a touchdown, didn't count, had to come back. So all in all, there were a lot of things going wrong with Sean Payton's operation that I hope gets cleaned up. I mean, I don't know what you do about the kicker, honestly. That dude left 6 points on the field.
No, it's time to send him home. But Will Lutz used to be solid as a fantasy football kicker. I would have him most every year, and he would always get me good points. After this, though, I would never trust him again.
Yeah, you had him follow you from New Orleans and everything. And it's not a great look. They're going to need to figure something out with that, especially if he's going to be missing kicks. But yeah, you also can't give up the penalties on kick returns that you have, because those are opportunities to inject some life into your team, and then it just gets erased. So that gets left on the field as well.
Garoppolo looked pretty good. I mean, he did have an interception, but 20 of 26 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And yeah, I mean, he seemed that's the thing. We always forget Jimmy Garoppolo spent so much damn time hurt. You forget how good he actually is and how solid he is. His record shows it. And this game just shows he's just a pro. You know what I mean? He's a professional. He's a hired gun, and he did what needed to be done. 200 passing yards out of the 261 yards that the Raiders got. I kind of feel like maybe Josh Jacobs did he not have much of a game here? Did he not crank out the fantasy football points?
Not particularly, no. I mean, 48 yards for Josh Jacobs, didn't quite get into the end zone. Just was a passing day. But, for both teams, I think they both really struggled. When you score a 17-16 and one team started with amazing field position, that's not a great scoring game. It's okay. Garoppolo was okay. Russell Wilson was okay, but he's getting paid way too much money to just be okay.
Yeah, Captain Cringe, 177 yards, 27 out of 34 right there. In both of his touchdowns were 5-yard passes. I mean, they just pushed that thing into the end zone, and whatever. It was the same thing for Garoppolo, I guess. Whatever. Now you're looking at it again. Broncos, Raiders. Are either team really good? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think so. Is there something to build on for either team? Yes. Will they actually do it? I don't know. It's too early to say. I like Russell Wilson. There were some things that he normally does that he didn't do, and I don't know if he didn't do them because he can't do them anymore. The run out of the pocket and extend plays kind of thing, where that seemed to always work out for him before, or does he just not have all of his weapons out there?
To take those kind of hits, Keon.
But he doesn't have whatever quality he had that allowed him to be successful before. Because I mean, there were just some throws he made where it was just like, man, he used to really, get a lot under those, and they used to be really accurate. And they're just not. He's just not. He's an okay quarterback, but he's making beyond okay money, and that's not good.
You can't blame anybody. If Sean Payton had done that dumbass play at the beginning of the game, you'd be like, oh yeah, he's going to get rid of Russell Wilson. But now there's enough blame for the Broncos to be spread around all over the damn place. And it's not like the Raiders came in there amazing. So I think these teams are both just sort of meh. So we'll see, I guess. It's only week 1. Beer Bob says, it seems that Aaron Rodgers has transferred ownership to the Chicago Bears. He's given that deed over to Jordan Love. Horrible display of coaching on the Bears head coach. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. But
Eberflus was not helping things in this game. You know, it's not. I don't blame him fully, but he didn't help.
So, of course, I'm watching the Sunday ticket thing there, which, by the way, not thrilled with. I'll talk about that later. But I saw like, oh wow, Eagles kicking asses out of the Patriots, and then I look over, I'm like, whoa, Patriots coming back. So they made a game out of it. I don't think Tom Brady ringing that bell really did much for anything, but that was nice to see him out. That he looks weird, but he just lost all his football weight. Now he's just this gangly, skinny guy. You know what I mean? With a big head. He looks like, you know what I'm saying?
I think we've seen him in pads so long because Tom Brady didn't have a lot of weight before.
Yeah, no.
He's just kind of looked like that. He just was wearing pads. So, the shoulder pads make you look bigger. No, Tom Brady's been a kind of a skinny, gangly guy with a big head for a few years.
This anorexic looking Tom Brady coming out the tunnel, and you're like, oh,
the guy's
should not play.
Guy's been a vegan for like 11 years. It's
wow, is that true? Really? No.
No,
he hasn't been vegan. He eats fast food. We've talked about this. Anyway, so the Eagles were able to keep the Patriots back and win 25-20. And I didn't get to see much of this game. What's the 4-1-1 on this? Are the Eagles are they any good? Because I don't think the Patriots are. So what's going on with the Eagles? Is there something wrong with the Eagles that they would have this much trouble with the Patriots?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the Eagles necessarily, but Jalen Hurts played very poorly. Didn't look like the Jalen Hurts we saw last year. They couldn't run the football, so that was a problem. They tried to do it by committee, didn't exactly work, but they're not the only team that happened to. A lot of the run by committee teams actually struggled a lot in week one.
I wonder if they're all doing this on purpose.
I don't think so.
No, you know what I'm saying? So like everybody's like, holy crap, we do need some better running backs. So we should pay the stars. But I don't think these guys are gonna get fired, so they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense for them. But
right, so it wasn't done on purpose, but it did bring attention to the fact of you need a better running back.
Yeah, you do, and I just it's a weird thing that Jalen Hurts was the second leading rusher, but you go out there with Gainwell 14 carries, 54 yards. Like that's not helping anything. I just think the Patriots do have legitimately a fantastic defense. Like Belichick has built this machine again. It might be one of the better defenses he's had in a long time. It's just, can the offense put enough points on the board to help the defense out?
So now moving on to the Dolphins taking on the Chargers, 36-34. Again, it seems like the same thing I'm asking on every single game. Does that mean the Dolphins are good, or the Chargers? Are these teams any damn good, or the defense is no good? How do you get 36-34? The Dolphins didn't have any kind of a running game to speak of, just because everybody was hurt. And it seemed like the Chargers, well, what the hell happened here? Did both their defenses just take the day off?
I mean, not that they took the day off. I don't know what to read into their defenses for this game, because both of these offenses were just firing on all cylinders. And when Justin Herbert is throwing the ball the way he did yesterday with accuracy, the deep ball looked really good. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do as a defense to stop that. And the same thing with Tua. Tua had a play. He threw a sideline touchdown throw to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill beat his guy by about 15 yards because he's Tyreek Hill. Like, is there really a defense that's going to stop that? I don't know, because then you try to take Tyreek Hill away, all of a sudden Jalen Waddle's a problem. I just think these are two loaded offenses that present a lot of problem for you if you play defense, and it looked like it. And the person who had the ball last was really going to score. Kind of was the Chargers who had it last, but they screwed up at the end and they lost the game.
When we started the show, I said, if you had Tyreek Hill or the Cowboys defense, you probably won your fantasy football game. The Dolphins damn near didn't win their real game with Tyreek Hill playing the way he was playing. This is a very confusing thing, looking at these. And I watched the play a couple of times and I'm like, what's going on here? I can't read anything off the Dolphins or the Chargers right now to say, oh my God, they're in trouble, or, oh man, these are two really solid teams.
I think they're two really solid offenses. I'm going to have to see them play another offense that doesn't have every elite option available to see what their defenses look like when they play, a normal team. The Dolphins offense isn't a normal team, and asking your defense to stop it, you're going to look really bad. And the Chargers offense isn't a normal team. If you ask your defense to stop that, you're going to look real bad.
Well, when you're the Chargers and you're committing penalties like they did, they had 6 penalties for 70 yards. I mean,
also a problem.
That's going to shoot you in the foot every time. Same thing the Cardinals did yesterday. They had all those penalties that just kept pushing them back.
The worst was the defensive pass interference that pushed them out of field goal range.
Yeah.
And at the end of this, they lost by 2. So if they hadn't have made that mistake and made that field goal, they're presumably it would have been 36-37.
Yeah.
So. Well, I guess we'll see. I guess the jury is going to be out on Dolphins and Chargers, but it was good for fantasy football, though, wasn't it? I want to explain something to everybody real fast. The reason your nose runs when you cry.
Okay.
No, hear me out.
Strong pivot.
Okay.
The reason your nose runs when you cry is because your tears drain into the nasolacrimal ducts, which run down each side of your nose. So then when the tears go through their overflow, it mixes with nasal mucus or snot, while the rest flows on your face. So your tears come out here, but sometimes they do kind of come out your nose. So you're not making more mucus when you cry. It's just tear overflow. And I say this for Ralph. After what happened with the Rams embarrassing the Seahawks last night, I just want you to know those tears, that's not,
oh boy,
you're not making more boogies. That's tears overflow. And I'm sure Ralph had some tear overflow. Except for here's the text from Ralph. How about my Rams? I told you all.
He did tell us all.
Yeah,
you did point blank ask him last week. If the Rams are winning, are you going to jump sides? And he basically did say yes.
Oh, nobody, even if he said nothing, we knew.
We knew, but he actually didn't have the shame to lie to us.
So here you are. Matt Stafford finds a way to communicate with his very young players, and he throws for 334 yards.
Yeah.
The Rams destroy the Seahawks, and without Cooper Kupp, which was the interesting thing. But I'll tell you what, Tutu Atwell, and who's the other guy? Puka Nacua. Amazing names, and they filled in quite nicely. Puka had 10 catches, 100 and almost 20 yards there. And
he came out of nowhere. I don't know what to make of that. I'm sitting there going, I've never heard of this.
Well, everybody's lining up in the waiver wires right now.
Yep. Pulling up things, going, all right, I guess I'm gonna.
So,
I don't know.
Both those guys are going to get looked at, but Puka and Tutu.
I thought Tutu Atwell was going to be this guy last year, and he wasn't. And I think part of that was Stafford had the thing with the arm. But now that Stafford can throw the ball deep again, I think we're going to see a lot more of Tutu Atwell.
Tutu and Puka both had exactly 119 yards. So if you don't get one in the waiver, you might get the other one. So good luck to everybody. But Seahawks. They are who we thought they are, Ralph. They are who we thought they are. They're bad. Sorry. I
don't know. Again, like week 1, I'm not going to overreact on that. I do like the domination of the Rams defensive line over the Seahawks offensive line. Like that was absolutely incredible. There was one play where the sideline mic picked up Geno, who was standing there looking down the field, and then Aaron Donald kind of comes in through the gap, and he sees Aaron Donald running at him, and he goes, "Oh my God!" Which is the most relatable thing. Like if you see Aaron Donald, like that's the normal reaction.
Lucky that was clean.
He just threw it away. But
nothing out of my mouth would be clean, and neither would my shorts be if I saw Aaron Donald coming at me.
Running full speed at you.
I wonder if Geno Smith's knees and ankles are hurting from carrying the weight of his massive stats. He 16 for 26, 112 yards, and a touchdown.
I don't know if
they should send the ball to the Hall of Fame now.
It didn't look good for Geno. But there are so many guys that didn't look good. I don't know I don't know how much stock to put in that when I see what Geno did, but I also see Joe Burrow didn't look good. Like there's just a bunch of guys that didn't look good last week or this week.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we have one game left to talk about, and that was that just annihilation, that embarrassment, that just god-awful turn off the TV and send the kids to bed in the second quarter kind of thing with the Cowboys and the Giants. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. We get the new season of NFL Monday Night Games started with a marquee AFC East matchup when Aaron Rodgers leads the New York Jets against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and Kevin Harlan will call the action, and I'll handle the pregame and halftime. Join us on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
It can be stressful when unexpected expenses come up, but Dave can help. Dave is the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. No interest, late fees, or credit check. Join the millions of people who have downloaded Dave and get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. Download the Dave app right now or go to dave.com. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Hi, Jada Cantor here. Being the daughter of a diamond guy, my expectations have always been nothing but the best. Why would I send any of my friends to anywhere but my dad, Diamond Dave? There is nobody else more certified and caring for your diamond, your special moment, and most importantly, you. Don't waste your time with expensive retailers fooling you. Choose my dad, Diamond Dave. My dad will happily educate you to get what you want for not only an amazing price, but a wholesale price. There is nobody else I would tell you to go for your diamond than my dad, Diamond Dave.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Call 480-397-2450 or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave Kantor.
What if I can't afford to retire? What if I outlive my money? What if I can't take care of my family?
If you're worried about the what ifs life can throw your way, maybe it's time to think about a financial plan.
I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management and host of Market Brown. The financial planning team here at Compact focuses on the answers to all of life's what ifs. Wouldn't it be nice to replace worry with confidence?
Maybe I can retire in style. It would be nice to not worry about my family. Maybe I can have the financial freedom to live the life I want to live.
Call me and let's discuss your what ifs. Call 1-800-388-9700 for a free consultation and a free retirement income evaluation. That's 1-800-388-9700, and I will meet with you personally. 1-800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and congratulations, Giants. $160 million got you an 8.3 quarterback rating. Wow. Well done. Nice. Saquon Barkley could have used the money, but no. Give it to Danny Jones. That's fine. Wow. Oh my God. Again, now you have to ask yourself, are the Cowboys that good or are the Giants that bad? Holy cow. Is it just the Cowboys defense? Just never seen such a lopsided game. It just never stopped. It never stopped. And boy, I tell you what, Daniel Jones, for everything everybody's going to say about him, he never quit. He never gave up, but he should have. Maybe he should have. Oh, dear God. That was horrible. That game last night. Are the Cowboys that good or are the Giants that bad?
I mean, it's hard to say if their offense is that good because it didn't have to do a whole lot, but that defense is real. That defense could potentially be the best defense in football. And I wouldn't say by a significant margin because what the Niners did yesterday was also incredible, but they are really damn good. And Micah Parsons is a problem and continues to be a problem for offensive coordinators. I don't know how you keep him out of the backfield. And I think the Giants, I think they played below their standard, but Daniel Jones came out of the gate not looking good. I mean, he didn't really have much of a chance to throw. The Giants offensive line is bad, so that's going to obviously be a factor with him. But even when he threw the ball, it wasn't great. You go into halftime, 16% of your passes completed. It just, the whole thing was a disaster from the beginning. Even Saquon didn't look great. Nobody looked good in New York blue.
All of us picked the Giants. All of us got it wrong. I mean, everybody was surprised. Nobody was more surprised than Cooper Rush. He's like, why am I even out here? What happened? I mean, because why have Dak Prescott out there, with most of the fourth quarter, hanging around there? So yeah, this was a horrible game to have to watch. It was a great game if you're a Cowboys fan, and the Cowboys fans, everybody's crowing as a Cowboy fan. Bruno Baller says, I don't do the fantasy football, but I'd think if you got the Cowboys or the Browns defense this week, you had to do pretty good. Cowboys defense, for sure. Heavy Metal Maniac says, how about the Cowboys dominance over them New York Giants? They couldn't stand tall against our team. Go Cowboys, he says. Let's bring home a trophy. Let's pump some brakes there, Heavy Metal Maniacs. Let's just see what happens here.
Week 1.
Yeah. He says, I know it's only one game, but I'm excited. That was a dominant performance. Haven't seen him play that well in years. Okay. Was Dak Prescott, who he only had 13 out of 24 passes. This is as good as you've seen him play in years? 143 yards?
I think Dak has played better than that this year. Like in the playoff game they played before.
Not saying a whole lot, is it?
I have so many texts sitting here on the text line that I did not get a chance to read. I apologize. No way we're going to get to all of these. Beer Nut says, Daniel Jones never gave up. They pulled him in the fourth quarter. Well, I mean, he didn't give up. Every time he went out there, he knew that they're going to come through that line and destroy him, but he kept going out there. You got to give him some credit for that. But I'm just saying, $160 million, 8.3 quarterback rating, they wrote the wrong check.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm. I wish I could read all these texts, but I can't. Everybody enjoy the show. Coming up next, it's Bills and Jets. Hopefully that's a good game. See you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Gil Alexander. Join Matt Brown and me for Primetime